Morning guys, how you doing? What's up? Just back at it, you know me, 2020's most consistent uploading YouTuber. On a serious though, my uploading schedule has been banging at the moment. I've been getting the videos up so good. Today I want to have a chilled one. I just want to sit back, drink my coffee, and have a little chat about 3 trips that I did at the end of last year. For the last 6 months of 2019, I teamed up with Minnie. Now, if you don't know who Minnie are, where have you been? Have you not walked down the road? Have you not seen a Mini? They are literally everywhere. In fact, you mustn't have watched one of my videos because Zoe's had a Mini for 7 years, and I pretty much drive that. Basically, whenever she's not driving it, it is like the most fun car to drive around. But I signed a deal with Minnie last year, and in signing the deal, it meant that I got to do a lot of traveling. And traveling to 2 countries, or 2 places, that I've never ever been before. Number 1, the first one, was Rotterdam. And this trip was for the launch of their very first all-electric Mini. There was tons of other creators and people from Instagram and YouTube, and Will and Arden were there, and Jack and Finn were there. And Minnie threw the most visually amazing event, and like great food, great drinks, and of course revealed to everybody the brand new all-electric car. But I did also get to explore Rotterdam and go out and grab some food in some cool different places, and I spent an extra day in Amsterdam afterwards exploring over there, even though I've already been so many times, I just love it. One thing just before I go into speaking about the next trip, I've just remembered, and I do have a video clip I think somewhere, I'll try and dig it up and edit it in. Minnie threw a party in the evening. You can't see the scale of the party from the clip that I'm gonna put in, but it was massive. Like, I cannot even explain how big. It was like a giant warehouse, but everybody's celebrating the launch of the new car, and they had a DJ in there, really well-known DJing whilst people were driving the car behind him whilst he was doing his DJ set. Finished up the first trip, had such a good time, but it was now time for trip number 2. It was now the end of December, no, not December, end of November, and it was time to head to a country that I've always wanted to experience, but I've never had like the right opportunity, the right time, the right reason to go, and therefore I just haven't. Until Minnie told me about their new living space that they have over there, and that is China. The reason why it had to be in Shanghai and it couldn't be in Rotterdam or somewhere closer was because it was to go check out the new living space that they've got over there. They are building a co-living space. So there's basically, imagine like a big plot, and inside the plot you have got, I think there's 48 flats. There's a couple of restaurants, there's a couple of shops, there's like co-working spaces where you can get your laptops out, you can work there. There's 3 mini cars, like the new electric cars, that are there that you can just use at any time if you have one of the flats. But the flats themselves aren't even like normal flats. It's kind of like, and I shot some video clips I'll insert now. It's hard to describe. You kind of have like your own bedroom and your own bathroom, which is a really nice amount of space. And then outside of there, you can open up your room, or you can just open up a door, but you can literally twist your actual wall to be able to open up and share the rest of the communal space, which is like a lounge kind of area, tables, kitchen, with a small group of people who have also got flats in there. And you like share a living communal area, but then also have your own separate private area that if you don't want it to be fully private, you can open up. They're building like a sustainable community within the city of Shanghai. Like there's like shared rooftop gardens, but also the coolest thing, because Shanghai is like ridiculously populated, the city. I think there's like 24 million people that live there. There's areas within the communal like plot that anybody can just use. So like the coffee shop, other people can just use it. It's not just for the people that live there. It's really cool. I'm like super excited. I knew it was gonna be sick, but when I went there and saw it, I could like definitely picture how this is like the future. We went to a dinner in the evening where an architect and like an artist had designed this massive piece of art all over the wall and the ceiling that was like wind powered, and they showed an example by blowing it with their mouths, but it's like going to be actually wind powered, that lights up the entire place indoors off of the wind power. Just so many like rethinking everyday things in a new style, and this like Shanghai living space is like a bubble of trying out all these new exciting things, and it's literally being built now. and it's nearly finished. And of course, the same like with Rotterdam, I had extra time off for sure. And in fact, I did even stay on in China for an extra 2.5 days just to explore. I can't be flying 13.5 hours away and not have a few extra days to literally get out a little bit and go and explore. And I went and saw this amazing temple and met loads of like local people, went to some local restaurants, went to some local markets, and it was like literally like nothing I've ever experienced before. It was so eye-opening. And then on to trip number 3, which was New York. And this was switching up a little bit. Number 1, because I've obviously been to New York multiple times and I filmed there loads. Number 2, because Zoe also came with me. And New York, as you saw, I daily vlogged all of it because it was now into December, which meant that it was Vlogmas, so I did vlog a ton. So there's not the most to recap you on with New York. They have this amazing space called the ADO, and it is like the most beautiful, kind of like an open studio that they can use for all different events and all different exhibitions and installations. But most excitingly for me is that I got to get into one of the new all-electric minis. I didn't get to drive it, unfortunately. I was just in the passenger seat because I wasn't insured. But I got to drive all around Brooklyn in the brand new car, and it is sick. Like, it is just instant. Like, it's all you want from an electric car, and the tech in it was lovely. The design of it's lovely. I don't really have much else to say because it is just a banger. And one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video and sit down and do it more like a chatty, informal kind of like look back on all 3 of the trips and talk about it was because, especially when I was in Rotterdam and when I was in Shanghai, I didn't really post much on socials other than Instagram. New York, I literally vlogged all of it because it was Vlogmas. But I've had so many people, when I did post little things, just like the odd picture of me in Shanghai, people being like, why are you in Shanghai? What are you doing? How is it? What's going on? That I just wanted to sit down and talk about it. So I also threw up like a little Q&A kind of thing on my stories saying, if you've got any questions about the trips I did with Minnie, drop it down below and I'll answer some. So I've screenshotted some of those as well. So these are the most popular questions that I was getting back about the trips from you guys. Are you gonna get the new electric Mini? Chelsea asks. I would love to, definitely. So Zoe got a Mini the first time. Do you remember her like blue, like tealy colored Mini? That was like over 7 years ago now, I wanna say. That's crazy to look back. So we've had a Mini in the house for 7 years. But then we switched that one out for a slightly newer one about 4 years, 3.5 years ago. So it is time to do a little switcheroo potentially. Do you honestly prefer the electric Mini to the normal one? Now, I've only been in the electric one twice, and the main difference when you're in it that I've noticed is it is a lot more rapid from the get-go because it's electric, and it feels a lot like smoother. And then there's the main difference, which is you're not using petrol or diesel, you're now using electric. So 100% yes, not because this is sponsored. I definitely prefer the electric Mini to the current Mini that we've got. Favorite moments from the trips and what makes Mini such an amazing brand to work with? Favorite moment from the trip, that's a hard one. Either getting to chat to the architect who's designing the Mini living space in Shanghai, because I have never seen somebody, I've never chatted to somebody, and I've chatted to a lot of different people that are doing cool things, who is so excited and passionate about what they're doing as this man. It was like he was showing me his baby, like he basically was, but his baby was like designing the project, and that was really, really cool. So that's definitely one of my top moments. Also, whilst I was in Shanghai, I went to go and see Choi Sivan perform. Literally just happened that he was performing the same time as I was over there, so I went to go and see him, and that was the most amazing show ever. Again, to see my friend performing in China was unbelievable. I was so proud of him. Getting to travel was amazing, getting to go to 2 different places that I've never been before, and also get to go to New York as well. And what makes Mini such an amazing brand to work with? They're doing such forward thinking, such cool progressive things. Like this living space that they've been designing and building, and I got to go and see, is literally like the future of living sustainably and like how that can be done. They're problem solving massive problems that we're going through and like actually actioning it, making, I went to the space and they're doing cool things that are gonna be super helpful. And then the new cars, all electric that I've been working with them with, like this is all futuristic stuff that is now. So it's kind of not the future, but that's cool. That's why I like working with Minnie. Thank you to Minnie for putting on such an amazing 3 trips, and also just spending your time as a business trying to better the world. Everyone appreciates it. A little bit of a different video than the other vlogs and everything I've been uploading recently. I just wanted to do like a recap on the 3 trips that I've done and talk about it and insert some little clips and stuff like that. Kind of like, I feel like this was like a chatty / a little bit of a vlog from clips that I've inserted in. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you're not already. Let me know down below in the comments if, number 1, if you've got an electric car. Number 2, if you would want to get an electric car. Number 3, I didn't think of a number 3. Why don't you leave me a question down below and then I'll answer some of your questions for a number 3. That sounds good. I'll see you soon with another video.